Hello, everybody. Welcome to anybody who's watching. Welcome to the Ninja Crusade Second Edition playtest thingy that we're going to do here. I actually have three of the people from the development team here with me. Obviously, I'm Aloy Lasant. I'm the creator of the game, and I'm the one that you've been seeing in all the updates, and I type in all the junk. We actually have three of our development team here. Go ahead and introduce yourselves, guys, so everybody knows who we're talking to.
I'm Danielle Lozon. Hi.
I'm Danielle Delisle, but you can call me Danny so it doesn't get confused.
And I'm Daryl Hakers. Hey.
All right, awesome. And what we're going to do with this session right here is we are going to create some characters. So we have the three players. I'm the GM, but I'm also going to go ahead and create a fourth character as well because why not? So we're going to go ahead and do this. So the way that character creation works in the Ninja Crusade 2nd Edition is it is a life path style. So there are actually 7 steps to making a character, and each of those things is steps is us making a choice as to something that influences our life. So let's go ahead and get started. We have step number 1 is ocean, and that is where we choose our element. There are 5 elements to choose from: fire, earth, metal, water, and wood. So what are you guys thinking in terms of your character?
Fire, without a doubt, for my guy. Because he's got to be like that energetic, out there, projecting. Yeah, so, hiya!
All right.
I am considering between water and wood. I have not decided yet.
Okay. Danny, do you have something that you have going, a choice?
Yeah, I think I'm going to go with metal,
Okay.
actually. I'm thinking, yeah, for sure.
Okay. I think I'm going to end up going with earth. I like earth. I like a lot of the choices for earth there. But because I'm picking earth, I'm actually going to roll randomly for which. So when you pick your element, what you also get to choose after you pick your specific element is you get to pick a temperament that comes along with that. So I am on earth, so I'm going to roll a die, and I rolled a 2. So I'm going to have the collector temperament, which is fun because being a collector means that I get extra perception check. I get a +1 to perception checks to see if things are out of place. Which is pretty cool. I like that one. And then, of course, my trigger is that whatever I collect can actually, I'll sometimes get drawn into conflict to try and grab that thing that I collect. So I'm going to say that my character collects antique blades. Yeah, I like that.
That's pretty cool.
That is pretty cool.
All right. So, Daryl, you're going to go with fire, definitely.
Yeah.
Which temperament are you thinking?
It looks like Silver Tongue's going to fit the best for what I'm thinking. And so that gift is +1 to deception to convince people that I'm right. And that will be deception, because I will never be right. Legitimately. And my trigger is if I can get attacked and then not fight back. That's when I get karma.
Okay.
So that should be fun. Big fun.
All right, yeah, because you're silver tongue, do you think that you can solve all your problems by talking? And that's not always the case.
Awesome. I think you're going to be the complete opposite of my character. I'm going with quiet, actually, for her temperament under metal. So you can do all the talking, and my character will just stand in the background being very quiet.
Try and stop me.
My gift is the ninja has a soft-spoken demeanor. I get +1 stealth when trying to go unnoticed in a crowd. So she's very quiet, blends into the background. The trigger is sometimes she can't bring herself to speak, even if it would help. We gain a karma when my character passes on saying something that could change the course of a bad event. When she doesn't speak up.
Which can be very bad.
Yes. Yes.
Okay. I think I'm going to go with water. And so I'm also going to pick calm for my water, so also not much like the fire guy. So calm water types are well-known talent for keeping composure under pressure, keeping a cool head, stay alert and ready to handle whatever comes their way. They never let panic overtake them, so I have a +1 discipline to ignore distractions because I have my head in the game. But it can come off as cold and uncaring, so my trigger is that we gain a karma when I'm not showing appropriate concern, and that could be a problem. So I'm like, oh yes, I'm totally, yeah, you sound really, I'm totally upset by what you're saying. You don't sound upset. Yeah, no, I am, I promise.
Nice.
I'm just very calm, though. Is what it
Just
is.
so calm.
It
actually...
All right, so we also get our key balance from our element that we chose. If you picked fire or wood, you get a yang. If you picked metal or water, you get a yin. I picked earth, so that actually means I get my choice of which one I want. So I'll take a yin.
Mm-hmm.
And then also don't forget your skills that you get. You get 4 skills from your choice there.
Right. So I get from water empathy, knowledge, stealth, and travel.
For metal, I get deception, discipline, might, and speed.
And I've got athletics, fighting, intimidation, perception.
And then I get crafts, fortitude, intuition, and perform. All right. Cool. All right. Well, that's first step. Already 1 down. All right. So the next one is step 2 is village, and what village represents is the character's profession and what they know how to do, what trade they've picked up along the way. Just in case anybody has any questions while we're doing this, because I do notice that we have a few viewers. I believe I have Q&A on, so if anybody has any questions on that, feel free to shoot that over to me, and I can definitely go ahead and answer those as well. All right, guys. So in terms of profession, there's 10 of these. So what are we thinking?
Entertainer's an easy one for me. Go big.
Well, it's an easy choice because you're thinking about going with the Blazing Dancers when we get around to that. However, there are less obvious choices depending on what it is you're trying to do.
I think I'm going to play the type, though. I think I'm going to go like really extreme.
Okay. So which one are you picking? You're picking Entertainer then.
Yeah,
and then what is the
Tumbler
focus
for
going
the
to be?
subset.
And then Tumbler. All right. Yeah. Awesome. All right. What about you, Danny?
I'm pondering monk.
Okay.
Under the dedicant section. I think that's going to fit, but I'm seeing if there might be something that might fit a little more in what I have in mind. But I think that's probably what I'm going to go with.
Awesome.
Yeah, I'm excited about that. This is very much not me in real life, so this will be definitely a
stoic monk. Yeah.
No.
So I am debating between 3 things because there's so many options. I'm debating between warrior and scholar and artisan.
Do you want to see what I get off of my random roll first?
Yeah, let's see that.
All right. And just so everybody knows, there is going to be a random character creation in the book. That's what I'm using to create my character. So I rolled a 6, which is going to be a merchant. And then I will roll again to see what kind of merchant I am. And I rolled a 5, which makes me a moneylender.
Okay, so we have a... What kind of entertainer were you again? The tumbler?
Yes.
Okay, so we have a tumbler, a monk, a moneylender.
Yeah, I
Yeah,
know. I kind of don't fit in now.
Well,
Hey,
how about...
someone's got to pay for all this.
Yeah, right. Hmm. This is hard.
So you were
Yeah.
looking between scholar and warrior.
And artisan. I think I'm leaving artisan out. I think it's between scholar and warrior, which
Okay.
is two different sides. I was thinking of either a historian,
Okay.
and maybe that's why I am so calm, is because I spend all my time with books and learning and that kind of thing.
All right.
And so it has taught me to be calm. That's one way to take it. The other way to take it, I was thinking, would be a sellsword, and it's just because I've seen so much.
Oh, that's a good. I kind of like that.
So maybe I'll do that.
Okay. So just so we're going over the choices again. So I ended up getting moneylender. So my gift is that I get a +1 to persuade if money can sway somebody, because I have lots of money. And then my trigger is that I'm lured by money as well. So I'm always interested in making a deal. So if I can't turn down a deal and that deal could be bad for us, then bad stuff happens. So that's how that works.
Yeah. So far, I have a quiet monk. So quiet was the first thing I picked that comes from the middle, and a monk. So my character gets +1 fortitude to remain unmoving for long periods of time. That awesome monk training. And the trigger is that because my character's a monk, they have certain rules that they have to follow, certain things they have to follow, and sometimes those duties or those observances or restrictions can, are not put them in danger or don't work out like the best for the group. So it's a karma when they choose those observance over safety, is what it says in the thing.
As the Tumbler Entertainer, I get empathy, fortitude, perform stealth, +1 athletics for acrobatics, and my trigger is if I get embarrassed in front of a crowd. I lock up.
So let me pull that back up. Okay, so being quick on my feet, and I know that winning a battle isn't about strength, but about speed. I'm good at dodging most attacks. I gain +1 speed when I'm dodging. But being a sellsword, selling my skills for money has made me do some things that maybe I'm not so proud of and maybe I want to forget about. So we get a karma if something that I have done once before comes back at me. So
Very cool. Very cool. All right. So then that's step 2, village. So we move on to 3, and that's river. So step 3 is river, and what this is it represents a tragedy that has befallen the character at some point in their lives. So there's 5 different kinds. There's civil discord, ravaged body, tormented mind, unending stigma, and victim of circumstance. So did you guys actually have an idea for what bad thing had happened to your character at some point in their life?
I do not. I have to think about it.
All right, cool. Let's see what I roll randomly, and then we'll see where we're at from there. All right, so I rolled a 7, which means I'm going to have an unending stigma. All right. And unending stigmas are usually like social things that happen to me bad socially. And I rolled a 1, which means roll again. So I rolled a 6, which means I am a pariah, apparently.
Oh.
So let's see how that works out. Where am I here? All right, so with pariah, there it is. So with pariah, I get an extra yen point. And it says that my social class may be untouchable, or I might work with the dead, or I might have been a Ronin at some point. So just something that has made it so that, like, maybe I used to be noble and I'm not noble anymore, but like I'm outcast from my normal group or normal society. What I get is +1 empathy when negotiating with Ronin and other outcasts for supplies or protection. Which is pretty cool. And then, of course, my trigger is that most people treat the ninja class with disdain and are unwilling to help them, so I gain a karma when my social status directly impedes a goal or mission. Yeah.
BT dubs, I completely forgot to add skills for my warrior.
Oh, yeah, you gotta do that.
By the way.
Yeah.
I was like, I should have more skills than this. What's going on? I've decided. My tragedy. I'm gonna have favors owed, which gives me a point of yang. And essentially, I owe someone a lot of money or some big favor, and it kind of follows me around everywhere, which makes a lot of sense as a sellsword. Maybe that's why I became a sellsword at some point, trying to pay my debts back, but it didn't work out the way I wanted it to, and so still I owe money, and it's just been this big, terrible thing that's been following me around everywhere. So I've become really good at dissembling in the face of collection attempts, and so I have a +1 to deception when seeking to dodge uncomfortable situations. But we gain a karma if the debt catches up to me and threatens the group or the success of the mission.
Wow. So there's already 2 of your triggers that are like you did some shady stuff in your past.
Wow. Nice.
I've actually decided, on my pariah thing, I think I'm going to be a handler of the dead. So I'm actually one of those people who goes around and collects dead people, and I think what my character is going to do is I take any precious blades or anything and I keep them for myself, and I sell off any other valuables that they had.
Wow.
You're a
Nice.
terrible person.
You are a bad person.
Kinda am, is what I'm picking up here. So this is what random rolls get you guys.
Although I'm not saying that I'm such a great person either, just, you know.
I am going with, I'm going to pick something that's going to be a little difficult to play, but I want to go for it. Because I want to be like from a Shaw Brothers movie. This is going to be awesome. My character is going to be blind, actually. I'm going to take impaired senses. So she's blind, quiet, and a monk. So she's,
oh my gosh,
she's like going to be awesome.
This is a fun group already.
I'm going to try something a little odd, and then I'm actually going to double up on one. I'm also going to do Favors Owed, but the background behind it is very, very different from the other one. I'm kind of seeing this guy as like a Harold Hill type, and yeah, he totally fleeced the community, somehow, scammed them. And now they're still kind of trying to get their money back from him, and every now and then someone from that village is going to recognize him, like, hey, it's that guy that fleeced us, get him!
Awesome.
Right.
I like it. I think that works out good. So Favors Owed does give you a yang, and so does Impaired Sense also gives you a yang. So make note of that, and then make note of your skills as well. And then there was a question in the Q&A here that says, yeah, this is going to take 2 hours of us talking and explaining and whatnot, but how long does it take to actually make a character? I have made a character in like 10 minutes before. Because it really is just make your choices, and you have a couple of points to spend at the end, and then it's good. So it goes really, really fast.
Yeah, I think my first try took about 20 minutes. That's first try. So.
Well, and honestly, that was because you were probably spending a lot of time reading everything and making sure you're making choices and stuff. But yeah, I mean, if you just made a random character like me, you'd be done in 5 minutes probably. All right, so this terrible thing, there are definitely terrible things that have happened to us. I think we're pretty good there. Did everybody record their key and their skills?
Yes.
All right, cool.
Yeah.
All right, so then we move on to the Forge then. And what the Forge is it takes into account the war that's going on around us, and it asks, what is your role in that war? Like, what does your character do in the war? And there's things like commander, communication, mercenary, pacifist, meaning you don't even fight in the war. So there's a lot of different ways that you can go about it. I will roll randomly and see what I get. I rolled a 3, so I am a foot soldier. Because that makes sense.
I know, I was just going to say, that doesn't seem like...
It doesn't seem to fit, but it's random, and I'll make it work.
Okay.
And then the type of foot soldier I am is a champion. So I'm somebody on the front lines, but I'm also kind of like a leader of the foot soldiers. So that'll work out. So let me see what the actual champion is. Foot soldier, where is that here? Here it is. So the champions are the strongest among the army, pushing forth their cause and usually having honed their body against invasions. So I gain +1 fortitude against poisons.
I don't know. I have mixed opinions on it because it's kind of freeform. It's very hard.
But my trigger here is that let's see. Oh, it's that I believe in the cause a lot, but it's hard to get other people to listen all the time to me sharing the truth, and I'm very boisterous about what we need to do, and it's the right thing to do, so I can turn people off that way. So I will turn this to Talks Too Much as my trigger. Talk too much about the mission.
Nice.
Right, so...
I got a question here. It says, can we expound on impaired senses? What impaired senses does is you actually pick one of your senses and you receive a penalty to that, but then you also receive a bonus to all your other senses.
Yeah,
and that's how we balance that out. So that you can be blind, you can kind of go daredevilish. If you're blind, then your hearing and all of your other senses are better, and it kind of works itself out there.
My character's blind, and it says, I get +1 perception when I'm using any other sense, I guess.
Right, any other thing but sight, right.
Right, and then the karma is when because my character's blind, when being blind kind of causes issues, like I don't realize someone is around me for some reason, or I mistake a target, or whatever. Yeah.
Oh, the red wire!
The what? That doesn't make any sense. I don't know what that means.
I can't see the wires. What are you talking about? So there's that. So I got foot soldier. I got the champion. So I'm happy with that one, because I'm just gonna say that maybe I saw the war as a way for me to get out of my pariah status. So I'm trying to use it, and they wouldn't take me as a commander. So I decided I wanted to just be the best out of the foot soldiers. But I talk a lot about how awesome it is to be a soldier, and people don't like to hear about it.
Nice.
Oh, really?
But no, seriously, you can stop talking about that now.
So for this guy, I'm going into the mercenary bracket, and I'm going for trader. because he was a total responsibility shirking draft dodger. He's been trying to stay off the front lines and make money or whatever on the side. So for skills, that gives me Fortitude, Intimidation, Marksman, and Persuasion.
Yep.
And the gift is +1 to Deception to create distractions, which I think will be quite nice.
I like that.
And the trigger is he gets pushy and draws too much attention. Go figure, that's not going to work with what I've got in mind at all. So every time I draw too much trouble and attention to the group, I'm going to get some karma. So yeah.
All right.
Work for me.
Awesome.
Oh, cool. I'm actually going with under pacifist. I'm going with recluse. So, my blind monk type character is living off in their hut or whatever, while this was going on. So, yeah. The gift is that they get +1 survival when making or finding shelter because they're used to being out in the woods, living on their own. The character is not used to relying on other people and finds it hard to ask for help when they need it. Gain 1 karma when their reclusive nature prevents them from seeking help, even when they really, really need it. So, so that will be interesting.
I have another impaired senses question. Can you choose touch or feeling as your impaired sense, and if so, how would that work in game? It would work very narratively, just like how a lot of the stuff does. She can't see very well, so she gets bonuses to all her other stuff. If you can't feel very well, then you get bonus to the other stuff. It probably means that you wouldn't be able to tell if you were hurt or not. So I would probably just, you'd be like, oh, well, I'm really hurt. I'd be like, how do you know? You just keep fighting. So, and it probably... How I would run that as a GM, and it's not anything that's in the rules or anything, because, again, it's kind of just there for you to kind of choose and kind of play around with, is I would probably have it where you might not be able to convert some points to conditions later on of damage that you take because you don't know to do that because you don't know how much damage you've actually taken. So that's probably how I would run it, but it's an interesting question. Good job. So, all right. So we have a trader, we have a recluse, we have a champion, and then what else do we have, Danielle?
Oh, yeah. That one.
That one. The other one. So I think I'm going to go with a scout.
Okay.
But then I started looking at what I wanted to do. It's just, I'm going to have the worst karma ever. So I'm really digging the observer. So in order to do your job, you observe the enemy and learn to slip past guards. So you gain +1 stealth when slipping past guards or soldiers. But I see things that I can't forget, usually before anyone else has. The horrors of war is something I have to carry with me, and it causes me torment. I gain a karma whenever character flashbacks to the war, and it incapacitates me.
Oh my god. You are... Yeah, you're just going for self-punishment here.
That's like my favorite trigger. That is my favorite trigger.
So much self-punishment. I love it.
Favorite.
Super stealthy, but that kind of reminds me of that time I saw that guy with half a face.
Yeah.
And I couldn't do anything to help it because I was trying to be sneaky, and it was just awful. Yeah, I'm telling you, that was good. Yep.
Exactly. Awesome. So make sure to mark down your skills and make sure to make note of your gifts and your triggers. And then we're actually going to get to the fun part that everybody likes, and that's the clans. I'm curious. I might have to roll a couple of times on the clan thing to see if I get, because I don't want any of the ones that you guys are going to pick. But there's a couple of clans that I don't know if will really work with this concept here. But we'll see.
Yeah, Blazing Dancer for sure for this guy.
Blazing Dancer for you.
I'm going to have to think about it. I had a clan in mind, but then as I started making the character, I was like, I'm not sure anymore.
All right, Danny, do you have a gift or a clan already in mind?
Yeah, I was thinking of going with a living chronicle.
Okay. All right.
The stereotypes are kind of quiet, knowledgeable, distant, which fits with what I got going on here.
It kind of works,
Very,
yeah.
yeah. So my character is very sort of. I like to picture enigmatic, just quiet, enigmatic. What's going on behind that face, kind of thing. So
Yeah.
I'm excited about that. So.
Very cool. So we have a blazing dancer and a living chronicle so far.
Mm-hmm.
Should I roll randomly now? Will that help you, Danielle?
It may. I was really thinking about grasping shadows,
Okay.
and I think it fits. So I may just go ahead and go with that.
Cool. I think that's a good one. And I actually rolled for Bamboo Herbalist, which actually does kind of work with the whole handling the dead and all of that stuff.
Yeah.
It actually kind of does work really well. All right. So with selecting a clan, obviously you're buying into one of the archetypical character types. So for the Bamboo Herbalists, I actually get a point of Yang, and then I get athletics, empathy, holistics, and travel. Empathy, holistics, and travel. My skills are looking pretty good so far. That gives me access to the way of caring hands, which is cool. So I'll be the healer apparently. And these guys are overly curious, meticulous, and border crossers, which yeah, people don't like that. And then my gift is I'm longer lived, and I actually get a +2 to any fortitude checks against poisons or sickness. And I can go without food, water, or sleep for up to fortitude number of days without any ill effect. So that's pretty cool.
Nice.
Oh, but then my bad thing is I have a long-lived mentality, which is often a liability because it makes me impulsive and whatnot because I'm like, I live forever. Basically, you can dare me to do things, and I'll accept dares. So I'll be like, sure, I can do that. That's easy.
Nice.
Where did I'm just zipping past. I'm trying to find.
So as a blazing dancer, I get +1 Yang. Skills, I've got fortitude, marksman, perform, speed. Totally unlocks monkey style. Hell yeah. And my gift, since I went tumbler before, I'll make that my performance mastery. So I'm +1 for acrobatics, and then +2 if that's being used with the perform skill. And my trigger is the reputation of the Blazing Dancers has been somewhat tarred and tarnished by the Emperor, and I get karma whenever that bad reputation makes things hard for me, which will be kind of hilarious because I'm kind of a living embodiment of that bad reputation. Every horrible thing that they say we are, I pretty much am. Making it a little too easy for them there.
A little bit, right? We got another question that says, when randomly rolling, are we discovering that sometimes you have to backtrack on character concept to make things fit? You know what? I don't know because this is the first time I've used the random character creation. So far, it's all random, but it seems like I've been able to make it work pretty easily. Now, over multiple uses, it might end up not working later on. I mean, who knows? But so far, I kind of like this one.
Yeah. And that's half the fun of random, is you're kind of going into it without a concept.
Yeah.
Like you're letting the die rolls tell you, and then at the end you look at it and they're like, oh, that's what this guy is. All
I mean, I'm actually digging it because, like, the Bamboo Herbalist, like, they're always looking for new ingredients. They're always looking to heal people. Like, they're always looking for stuff. So if I'm like a handler of the dead, it might be that I'm actually, practicing my art, my healing art on dead bodies. You know, I could be, you know, trying to make myself better by using that. So that actually kind of fits. So like, oh, I have access to all of these healing herbs and all of that stuff, and I can kind of experiment, and people don't like it, but I'm allowed to do it anyway? Sure, let's do that. I'm part of your clan. That sounds awesome.
Nice. As a living chronicle, my character gets a yin. So he is very yin heavy right now.
Yeah.
He's a little, well, I mean, he has two, I don't know if I'm doing a he or she. I keep interchanging. I'll figure it out. Yin, I have 2 yin and 1 yang, so, but that kind of fits with what I've done, you know, metal and quiet and all that. It kind of fits.
Oh, yeah.
And I get the fighting styles I'll get access to, which are the layered crane and mantis. I get the way of kept lore. I get crafts, knowledge, perception, and travel. And the gift is knowledge of the ages. So I get 1 free specialty in knowledge. So I get to pick something in particular that my character is knowledgeable about. And I also get a number of automatic successes equal to my knowledge on checks to remain calm or overcome fear. So that's pretty nice. So
yeah, and that's limited by your rank. So
yeah, up to their rank.
Starting as rank 1, that means you get 1 automatic success anytime that you're going up against any kind of fear checks. And then when you go up to rank 2, then as long as you have knowledge 2, it'll bump up to 2. And it's actually really cool because the more powerful that you become as a ninja, the less scared you are of anything.
Yeah, and the trigger is respect the word. So they get a karma when risking their lives or that of their group to obtain a document or historical tome. We have to preserve these things after all. So,
oh, very cool.
Sorry, guys, ahead of time. but there's some like ancient recipe that must be preserved somehow. I don't know. So no, the mythical recipe for mooncakes. We must save it.
I think I have the first adventure now. I'm looking for mooncakes now. That sounds awesome.
Okay, so we're left with me with Grasping Shadows. Okay, so Grasping Shadows are kind of the traditionally before the war and stuff, they were the Empire's assassins. So they've always kind of been involved in warlike activities even before the war started. So they're very traditional and they are assassins, so not a lot of people necessarily like them the way that they are because, you know, assassins. So they get yen, which makes sense because they're sneaky and subtle, and they get discipline, intimidation, marksman, and stealth. And my favorite jutsu is Way of Ebony Clutches, and the fighting styles are Eagle and Wildcat. So the clan gift for for Grasping Shadows is kind of interesting. So they get +1 stealth when using shadows, and if they succeed on their stealth check versus somebody else's like check to detect them, whatever the success difference is, they gain as an intimidation bonus on that person. So if somebody's trying to look for them and they don't see them, and then later I jump out of the shadows, I get a bonus on my intimidation, you know, or to scare them while I'm hiding, to, you know, manipulate the shadows around me and stuff like that. So
they can also throw their voices, which is, yeah. So they can kind of just talk and like, where's that coming from? I don't know.
Right.
So.
Right, exactly. So they are seen, though, the triggers, they're seen as manipulators and nothing else. People don't see them as being true ninja, and so
no, it's the opposite.
Oh, no, sorry. I don't see people as true ninja. I'm the ninja, and no one else is the ninja. Everybody else is playing at being ninja, and they're not actually good. Okay, so because of this, I often step on my squad mates' toes who I'm often trying to just show them up because I'm a better ninja. So we gain 1 karma when my pride gets in the way of progress. Which, you know, might not be easy because things are constantly causing problems.
Wow.
Exactly.
I can just picture my character just in the back, like just taking notes or whatever, just, you know, just filing all this stuff away that's going to happen. Like,
I see like long like therapy sessions between your two characters.
Oh gosh, yeah.
And remember, and then this other thing happened. Oh my gosh.
But I'm still the best ninja.
I'm still better. I mean, that's how you got to do all of those things. It's 'cause
well,
you-
one of my bonds is that I have to pick a ninja whose stories I'll always listen to, no matter how bad they are. So I think that's
Perfect.
gonna be your character.
All right, but hold on. We haven't gotten to bonds yet.
Oh,
So,
sorry,
no, it's okay. No, so we have contacts. That's the next thing. So each of the clans actually has 6 example contacts. Of course, you can make up your own, but we give you some. And you pick 1 contact to be your ally, and you pick 1 to be your rival. Now, if they're your ally, then you actually get a +2 bonus to a particular kind of check, whatever they're good at, if they are assisting you with it. If they're your rival, then you actually get a -2 penalty to whatever kind of check they have to use against them because they can see through you and they're better at it than you are. But you can ask either your allies or your rivals for favors, also depending upon the actual background of the actual contact themselves. But in order to do it with a rival, you have to do a favor for them first. Whereas with an ally, you can ask them and then owe them later. So it's a little bit different there. So if we look at the ones for the bamboo herbalists, I'll just pick 2 at random because that's what I've been doing. I'm going to pick Akanishi Jin, who is a know-it-all when it comes to herbs and applications, but he doesn't help anyone for free. I'm going to pick him as my ally. And then for my rival, I'm going to pick Aya. I'm going to pick Aya here. And Aya, when one needs a spy, calling on Aya is never a bad call. She's probably snooping already anyways. So I actually have a spy as my rival, and I have an herbalist as my... yes. And then I have an herbalist as my ally. So there we are.
Cool. I did with the Living Chronicle. So the ones that I had, I'm going to go with Oishi Toshi. I think that's how you pronounce it.
Oishi Toshi.
Yeah. He's knowledge, so he's going to be my ally. One of the chief historians at the Fortress of Scrolls. So that's my ally, so I'm going to get some bonus to knowledge there for him being my her. I don't know if Oishi's a female or male name. Sorry.
I forgot. It's Toi. I don't know if Toishi is. I forgot. It's supposed to actually say it in there, so that's something that we're going to have to pick because everybody should have 3 men and 3 women as their contacts. So I guess if we compare and contrast, we'll be able to tell.
I see his, and her, and that's it. So.
Yeah.
Well, whichever.
Whichever, exactly.
They're my ally. This person. And my rival is going to be Noda.
It's a girl name, by the way. I just looked it up.
Noda. Oh, okay. So she is my ally. And I get knowledge for that. And then my rival is going to be Noda Maurice. I'm sorry, I have like French background, so I want to say it in a French way. So, but it's fortitude, so I'm going to get a negative to fortitude because they're going to be my rival. They're an old monk who has been embalming members of the clan for decades.
Right.
So yeah, I don't know what we did to each other, but I don't know. Maybe.
Well, I mean, that's for us to make up.
Yeah.
Now, it should be noted that your rival is not an enemy. It is just somebody who you associate with that doesn't maybe like you all that much and kind of wants to beat you at things.
Yeah. Maybe I spurned their advances or something, because I'm just a quiet monk and I don't have time for that. I don't know. Who knows?
All right, so who wants to go next, Daryl or Danielle?
Yeah, I'll go ahead. I'll go ahead and go. So, Blazing Dancers, my ally will be Suzuki Ichiro. He's the messenger in camp, so totally seems like a guy that would we'd bum around, and he's got speed as his big bonus.
Nice.
And for rival, Masumi Sachiko, she's actually working to become an engineer with the Empire, and I'm going to take a -2 marksmanship around her, which is his big trick, juggling and stuff. So he gets embarrassed and tongue-tied around her, so there could be something there. That'll be his rival.
Okay, awesome.
Okay, so I have as my ally is Sando Kata. She is the the seemingly delicate beauty is among the foremost talents at kidnapping and collecting ransoms. So my idea there was that maybe we worked together for a while I was a sellsword.
I
and
like that, yeah.
And we're still on friendly terms. Like maybe she hired me for something for a while.
Okay.
My rival is Takashi Mihira. His thief has been a thorn in the side of the Izuo for years, hiding in one of his many safe houses. So I'm thinking that maybe, again, sellsword, so good for so many things. Something that I was hired to do, he doesn't necessarily hate me, but he's mad at me, because something I was hired to do thwarted one of his plans, made some job he was doing go south. And he blames me for some problems that he's had in the past.
Very cool.
So that is
very
ideas.
cool. All right, and then the last part. So we have our ally and our rival, and then the last part of character creation. Well, not the last part of character creation, but the last part of the clans is to do our bonds. So since actually this is why I kind of wanted to have four people here. Every clan comes with 3 bonds, so each of the bonds will be with each of the other 3 characters. Me, and then there's 3 others than me. So it actually kind of works out. Who wants to start, or would you want to go around? We can go around and do one apiece as we go around.
Are we going to need the characters' names to be able to note who this bond is with?
That's actually a really good idea. I haven't actually decided. I'm kind of in the same boat as Danny. I haven't decided whether my character is going to be a woman or not. I was actually kind of leaning towards a woman with this makeup here.
I think I'm leaning towards a guy, actually.
All right.
Funny, because I was also leaning towards a guy with all the sellsword stuff, but I think I'm going to go with a woman anyway.
Okay.
I'm just going to go with that. But let me look up some good names, because
that's what I'm doing too. I'm like, I need a name.
This guy is Sakana, the Great Sakana.
The book will also.
Nice.
See, if you want to roll randomly, roll 2 dice and add them together and tell me, and I can give you a name. Because I actually have random name charts in the book as well now.
Oh, cool. I'll do that because I don't know.
Because that's what I'll be
do I
doing.
have to roll?
2 dice.
I got a 9.
And then roll for your first name and your last name.
I got an 8.
This is, so you're being, you said a man, right, Danny?
Mm-hmm.
All right, so for your 9, you're going to be Asamu, which means discipline and study.
Well, hey, that works for my character.
And what did you get as your 8 you got for the second one?
Yeah. Well, actually, I got 2. That was the other Danielle who got the...
Oh, you had a 2. Okay.
Yeah.
And your last, your surname is Fukui. Fukui.
And how do you spell the first name?
It was Osamu.
Okay. There we go. Got it. Cool.
And I'm sorry, Danielle. Okay, so what did you get?
Hold on. So I have a 5.
So you have a 5 for your name. You're going woman is Suzuki.
Okay. And then my surname is a 12.
The 12 would be Otaki. And Suzuki is Gentle Moon. Otaki is Big Waterfall.
Okay.
And my name is actually Kasumi Sakurai. Kasumi Sakurai. And Kasumi is Mist, and Sakurai is Cherry Blossom. Well,
Cool.
so it's pretty nice. All right, so yes, so now we have our names. Do you have a name already, Daryl, or did you want to roll random?
Yeah, it's Sakana, the great Sakana.
Oh, okay.
Indeed.
He only has one name because, rock stars only need one.
You only need one. Exactly.
Nice.
But Sakana, of course,
His
means
family is
fish.
not pleased by this.
So he's, what family? He's the great fish.
Yeah.
All right, so we have Suzuki, Osamu.
Mm-hmm.
What was your name again, Daryl?
Sakana,
Sakana.
Oh,
Gotcha.
come on. The great.
the
The
great
great
Sakana.
I have to
The
write
great
that
is
down.
important.
Great.
Yeah.
All right, so I'm going to pick my first bond. My first bond is going to be there is one ninja who you know has your back if your thrill-seeking gets the better of you. And I'm actually going to say that's going to be Suzuki. I think that fits Danielle. So I'm going to say I trust you that you'll have my back if my thrill-seeking gets the better of me.
Okay.
All right. Who wants to go next?
I'm going to, I have to choose one ninja who has caught me performing a heinous act against a perceived innocent. And I'm going to have that be, I did not write down names like I should have. Danny, what's your character's name again?
Osamu?
Osamu.
Osamu.
Okay.
I perceived you did something bad.
Yeah, that's Osamu. So you witnessed it. You didn't have to and that could be why you perceived it was an innocent, right? You didn't see that they were wearing colors. You just heard what was going on.
Couldn't see.
Right. You just heard what was going on. You walked in on it. You were just like, what are you doing?
Actually, with my character, it would have been more like, shut the door. Away. Just be like, I heard nothing. I heard nothing. But still.
I like that. That's a good one. Danny?
Yeah, I guess I'm going to go with the first one I have is choose one ninja whose stories you'll always listen to no matter how bad they are. So I guess I'm going to go with Danielle H's characters because he wants to hear the story behind whatever he heard. That's for sure. Like, what was up with that?
Very cool. And then Daryl?
Yeah, choose a ninja who always knows how to make me laugh. I think that's going to be Kasumi. The ageless bamboo herbalist. That's got to be it.
Yeah, I'm a laugh riot handling all these bodies.
It always makes the kind of laugh. You're like, yeah, classic.
That's awesome.
Kasumi.
That's awesome.
My next one is choose one ninja who I have an unrequited crush on, making it harder to say no to them. So
Wow.
I'm going to give. You know what? I'm going to give my crush to Osamu.
Yeah, that is totally barking up the wrong tree there.
That's awesome.
That's barking up the wrong tree. That's
Monk,
awesome.
unrequited forever.
And he wouldn't even get it either. Like, he wouldn't even know.
It's okay.
Awesome.
Like, wouldn't even get it. Just be like, what? And I could picture the other two trying to tell him, like, no. Like,
It seems
the
like
crush on you. Like, what?
The reason I picked Osamu is because it seems like it would be too easy if I picked Sakana.
No,
I don't know. I mean, like, if you can't even talk to him without cracking him up, that could be very sad.
No, you're kind of right.
You always know just what to say. You crack me up. Yeah.
That's awesome.
You know what? Actually, you're right. I'm actually going to switch
You
it.
change it.
I'm going to switch it because that's a really good point.
That's awesome.
All right, so that's my second one.
I gotta pick someone who is not a fan of my art, and I'm thinking Osamu is a good good choice for that.
Like, it looks great to me, man. I don't.
Hold on, it's not a fan of your art.
Sounds like something awesome's happening there, but whatever. I don't get it.
Hold on. You didn't read the whole thing. Is not a fan of your art, but
I'm determined to prove them wrong. Oh yeah.
exactly.
I'm going to describe.
Put your hand on it.
In detail. Oh, I'll say that a lot. Yeah, put your hand on it.
Wow. Nice. Nice. Okay. All right, my second one is choose one fellow ninja who you're determined to teach the value of history. So I think I'm going to go with Sakana for that.
Oh, yeah. Okay. A long and uphill road to go here.
It's definitely not going to be Osamu because he knows.
Hey,
his
that's
history.
okay. I've got
He
2
knows
points
his
in
history.
discipline.
He keeps reflecting on it constantly. And it keeps coming
Yeah,
back to
I've
bite
got
him.
2 points in discipline, so I have patience and fortitude, and yes.
Very cool. Very cool.
Okay. So I'm having, I have the two left could really go either way, but I think I'm going to do this. So I have to choose one ninja who has saved my life and I owe a favor to.
Okay.
And I think that's actually going to be Sakana, and I think it's going to be much to my chagrin at all times. Because that guy saved my life. Oh my God.
Very cool. All right, and then we have just one more, so it basically choose. It's going to basically be chosen for us. So my third one is choose a ninja who distrusts the use of herbs to solve problems, very much at odds with what I do. So that's going to be Osamu. So apparently Osamu doesn't like my use of herbs to solve problems.
There you go. That can fit.
Because you're like, but there's so many other ways that history tells us that you can solve this problem.
Exactly. And you're like,
my last one fits really great with Suzuki's or whatever, which is choose a ninja who thinks they're protecting you, but it's really more like you're protecting them.
Very nice.
Very cool.
For me, I have choose a ninja who's made me rethink the position of their lesser clan. So that actually is really nice for Kasumi because she's, she's got a lot of problems, but she's a healer and, she does
but
things
I'm
good.
I'm also a champion, though. Because
Yeah.
I'm a champion, and I'm always talking about how awesome it is
Yes.
to be going out and fighting and doing all this awesome stuff. So.
So maybe you're not as bad, maybe you're not as non-ninja as I thought you were.
Exactly. I like it.
my last one is for Suzuki, and that's going to be the ninja that I must chronicle their life as a key figure to major events. So I don't know how it's going to happen, but something Suzuki does is going to be important somehow.
Is that Suzuki?
Yeah, maybe even if only in her own mind. I'm not sure.
Yeah.
I thought you already had one for Suzuki.
Oh yeah, I did. So that would be your character
Sakana.
then.
That means it's going to make it Sakana then.
No, Sakana, I'm going to teach the value of history.
Right.
Oh,
So
Kasumi.
So you think,
yeah.
so then you think I'm going to have some sort of key figure in a major event somewhere down the line?
Yeah, that's right. That's right.
Okay.
Yeah.
Cool.
Yeah. Okay.
I'm fine with that.
Yeah. Maybe it's just because of the way your character talks. Just.
Well, I mean, exactly. I mean, we're going out, we're fighting, and I actually had to took this guy down, and it was amazing, and it's so great to be part of this whole new thing and leading the charge. It's really, really fun. So that was the mountain stage. That was the pick your clan, pick your contacts, and choose your bonds. That took a little bit of time, but we were having a lot of fun with it.
Yeah.
So the next part is temple, and this is where we get to do a little bit of personalization to our characters. This is also where we get to pick our martial training, which is also pretty important. So the first thing that we do is we get 10 skill points to now spend to enhance any skills that we have. Like if you had a certain concept, you're like, well, my choices didn't give me the skills that I needed in order to do these things that I wanted to do. So I need to spend a little bit, just bump that one up a little bit there. So we do get 10 points. So let's just go ahead and spend those real quick.
And they're 1 for 1, right?
Unless you're at 5.
One, except for level 5. Level 5 would cost you 2 if you wanted to bump it up to level 5.
Okay.
And I'm keeping track of what I'm spending now, so that when we get to Jutsu, if I decide I need to switch some skills around, I know which points are these points versus the ones that I got from my choices.
Yeah. Okay. I'm just gonna do a line.
Yeah, I'm doing like a cross instead of filling it in.
Yeah.
Let's do that, and that.
Wow, I need like
6.
2.
7. Sorry, I probably shouldn't be counting out loud. Let's do. I should probably at least take one level of stealth.
So I don't punch you in the face.
I'm rethinking my rethinking of this whole you not sucking thing. All right, so I have my 10 points spent, and then you also get 2 specialties that you can pick. No skill can have any more than 2 specialties. But basically, what a specialty is you get a +1 bonus when using the skill for that particular use. It's kind of like how gifts work. So it's not actually unlike that at all. And the book will actually have some example specialties and stuff like that. So, always have to come up with them off the top of your head or anything.
Sure. So just how do we mark specialties on your?
You just write it down. It's on the line underneath skills that says specialties, and you just write them in.
I see. Okay.
So I'm actually going to do a specialty in leadership, a specialty under persuade for leadership, and let's see. Yeah, and you know what? I'm going to make my other one persuade as well. Persuade for, let's say, bartering.
Do you have example specialties under each individual skill, right?
I don't think it says it under the skills themselves, but in the layout, not in what you guys have, but in the layout, I actually have like a list of example ones. So like athletics would be like climbing or balance or jumping. Crafts would be sculpting, cooking, sabotage. Do you have a particular skill that you're looking for that I can read some off for you?
Stealth.
For stealth, it could be shadowing somebody, hiding in crowds, hiding in shadows, things like that. Finding a hiding place quickly, that would be one as well.
Okay, I'm going to do shadowing people.
Shadowing's a good one. I know that you actually have a bunch of perform, but perform would be acting, singing, dancing, instrument playing, stuff like that. I know Daryl has a bunch of perform, so I wasn't sure if you wanted that stuff.
What would prestidigitation fall under?
That would be perform.
Okay, perfect.
Yeah, that would be a perform, probably a perform and speed check.
And how many? We get 2 specialties.
So you get 2 free specialties during the temple stage, yeah. So you get 10 skill points and 2 specialties.
I'm just trying to decide.
Can you give me some example ones for discipline? Specialties under
Yes.
discipline?
Concentration, meditation, versus fear, versus pain.
I think I'm going to go with concentration. That seems to work. And I get a knowledge specialty from my clan.
That's
So
right. You
I'm
get
going
a
to go
free.
ahead and choose battles. So my character has a knowledge of, like, battle history.
I like it.
Yeah, specifically.
Could you throw out a couple of examples from empathy, please?
For empathy, spotting lies, reading specific emotions, or hiding emotions.
Ooh.
How about intuition?
Gambling, educated guesses, stuff like that. Flipping a coin.
I think I'd go educated guesses.
Can we do
Alright.
some speed?
Speed would be travel time, racing the clock, quick thinking. Those would be examples.
Let's do quick thinking. All right.
All right. So, do we have all our specialties?
Yes.
Okay. So then that means that the next part of this step is to pick our martial training. So now there are 3 different types of martial training. There's fighting styles, there's weapon styles, and there's the 99 styles. So fighting styles, your clan actually gave you access to 2 different fighting styles. Those are the ones that you can pick during character creation. You can learn the others by finding a teacher, later on, like during play and spending XP and stuff. But from your clan teaches you 2 different ones. Like I have bear and dragon as mine. So I can take levels in those if I want, or I can take weapon training, or I can take one of the 99 styles. So the fighting styles are bear, crane, dragon, horse, mantis, monkey, snake, and tiger. Oh, and wildcat.
And wildcat.
The weapon styles are blunt, chain, paired, range, and sharp. And they actually equate to the weapon qualities of whatever weapon you're using. So as long as the weapon you're using has the sharp quality, then you can use your weapon style. Or whatever, if you have the sharp weapon style.
So we select really quickly. We're just picking one fighting style right now?
So you have 2 levels that you can do. Okay? So that means you could pick, under your fighting style, you could say 2 different. You could pick like a fighting style and pick level 1 of 2 different techniques under your fighting style. Under one fighting style, you could pick level 1 of 2 different techniques under 2 different fighting styles.
Or level
2 of a single fighting style. You could pick the same thing for weapon styles and for the 99 styles. The 99 styles actually includes alchemy, which is fun. That's potion and brewing and stuff. It also has Master of Spies, which I'm really hoping I get in my random rolls that I'm going to do. It also has Portents, which is really awesome. It's like identifying omens and things like sensing the supernatural, sensing ki and energy fluctuations, stuff like that. And then there's Summoning, which is having a celestial animal, which is always fun. And then there's Trap Master, which is being an expert trap maker. So I have random rolls to make. Let's see what I'm going to get.
So we get 5 to spend. It says here in the character sheet. Okay.
Let me see, hold on.
Yeah, it says spend 5 skill points.
Oh, it should be 10. I'm sure I uploaded the latest one, but we already did our 10.
Oh, yeah.
So,
Oh,
10.
that was in that section. All right.
Yeah, so
Okay.
10 skill points, 2 specialties, and then record 2 martial training levels.
Okay, so we just get to pick levels of we can choose weapon, one of the 99 styles, or a fighting style.
Correct.
We can choose 2 levels of any one of those and mix and match how we want to. Okay,
Exactly.
got it. I understand. Okay.
So I'm going to get a weapon style. I'm getting a sharp weapon style. And I'm taking technique number 3, which is called... This is the fun part of random here. It is called Splitting Arrows. So I'm taking Sharp Splitting Arrows. And what level 1 of splitting arrows allows me to do is I can parry ranged attacks. Because usually you can only dodge a ranged attack.
Huh. Wow.
I like that. All right.
These are hard.
So that was my first roll. And then my second roll is I rolled a 5. Another weapon style. Do I want 2 weapon styles? Oh, sure, why not?
Because you're champion.
I might as well, right?
That's why you did so well in the wars.
Yeah, it must be. I was kind of hoping for the something else, but it works out. I actually got sharp again, so let's see what I get. 2. So I'm going to take level 1 of 2 different sharp styles. So the other sharp style is Armor of Blades.
Ooh, this is going to be interesting, I think. I'm excited.
So with Armor of Blades, what it gives me is attackers in close or near range suffer a -1 penalty to attack me because I'm always spinning my blades and it's hard to hit me. If I get a boost on my defense, I actually get a +1 bonus to my next attack on them. That's a nice one.
Nice.
Oh no.
Well, I took 2 levels of Baby Monkey Has a Fit.
Nice.
So
what does that do?
So at the first one, I get +1 per level, so I get +2 fighting if the enemy is much bigger than me, and I don't suffer penalties from being prone, and I can hop up as a free action.
Nice. All right. Well, I went straight up. I guess I don't know. Do I want a sword? What do I want? I don't know what I want as my weapon. And now it has to be a sharp weapon because now it just has to be because I got 2 sharp things. So it has to be a sharp weapon. What are my choices for sharp weapons here? Where are the weapons? Here they are. I could fight with Kama. Ooh, that's nice. I could go with Kama. I could go with a straight-up katana. I could go with an axe ko. I could go with a ninjato or a shuko. You know what? Yeah, I think that's what I'm going to do. I think I'm going to go with Kama. I'm going with a pair of Kama, and
Nice.
the Kama qualities are sharp and paired. And sharp means that on a boost I can inflict bleeding, a bleeding condition, and the paired means I actually get +1 to defensive checks as long as I have 2, because I'm spinning them around. So actually, I should be really nice in combat actually now, so that's good. So, all right, so you took 2 levels of Baby Monkey Has a Fit.
Oh yeah.
So that's a fun one. What are the other 2 of you thinking?
Oh my goodness. So I looked at the 99 styles, I looked at the spy network, and then I decided that it's a little complicated for a test thing.
No, it's fine. What were you thinking? You were thinking gatherers, assassins, thieves?
I was thinking gatherers, but I don't know. It seems a little. I mean, it's information gathering, clearly.
Mm-hmm.
I'm just not sure how we would use it. It seems like I'm asking the game, the game runner, to do a little bit of legwork because it's like I have this group of people that I've trained to do stuff for me.
Yeah. A little bit. I don't see it's not necessarily that bad of a thing. Because all they're going to do is they're going to bring back some information and it gives you a bonus. to like the next time that you talk to them and you want to like intimidate them or whatever, because now you have information
on that person. Yeah.
Yeah.
So I mean, it's not bad. I think I'm gonna. Some of these things are just like good. It's so hard to pick.
A lot of them are really good, yeah.
So I think I'm gonna go with Eagle Raptor needs to feed at level 1 for right now,
Okay.
which allows me to spend a dynamic action for deeper cuts on a single attack per level.
Okay, nice.
I can spend +1 dynamic action, so I guess I could normally...
Normally you can only spend 1,
Yeah.
but with the Raptor needs to feed, you can spend more and keep upping that damage.
Okay. And then I think I'm going to go ahead and take... so I was thinking about taking a Wildcat, and both of them are really good, the ones I'm thinking of. So I was thinking of Flurry of Blows, which allows me to... I can give up bonuses and use a boost and make a second attack.
Yeah, that's a really good one.
Which is really nice. And then also the Pounce is really nice, that if I'm going first, so if my initiative brings me to be first, I gain +2 fighting and deal +1 damage on my first attack in the battle.
Nice.
And the later levels of that give me like bonus to movement and some other like dynamic action abilities, which are kind of nice. So I'm kind of like, oh. It's hard. I think I'm going to go with Pounce, though, because gosh, I don't know. No, I'm going to go with Flurry of Blows. For one reason and one reason only, is because I have more options to actually have that happen in a combat. Because Pounce only happens if I get to go first, which I may not, and then it will get used in a combat, where Flurry of Blows may come up in a combat, depending on how long it goes. So.
Right. Well, and the thing about initiative in this game is when you get into a fight, if you're going to do initiative, there are things that you can do to manipulate the situation to make yourself go first.
Yeah.
So it's pretty good. I mean, depending upon, you might end up just having a really high initiative. I mean, who knows? Right now my initiative looks like it's sitting at 8. So that is actually pretty high. But so right now my initiative looks like it's going to be about an 8. So yeah. So I got a question here. It says, do you roll a dice pool to determine damage, or is it a flat number based on boosts and bonuses? And the answer to that is yes. It is. It is a combination of boosts and bonuses plus the additional dice that you actually roll. If you're using a weapon, you deal an extra damage. Some attacks do a base amount of damage. Boosts will. You have the option, if you're doing a boost, to do an extra damage. You can also spend dynamic actions to do extra damage. Like, usually you can spend 1 per attack to do an extra damage, but of course Danny just took the Raptor needs to feed, so that means she can actually spend 2. If she bumped that up to level 2, she could spend 3. If she bumps it up to level 3, she can spend 4. I mean, just think about like, if I hit you for 2, but then I'm like, yeah, that 2 just turned into 5. Just because I'm that awesome at my martial arts. So it's pretty good. Exactly. Thumbs up. All right. So Danny, what are you thinking?
I am going to take the level 1 for Mantis catching prey.
Okay.
My character is not all about the, aggressive. He's just like, I'm just going to stop you.
Yeah.
That's it. Just reach out with the grip of the Mantis and stop you. And I'm also going to take Portents, Sense Key, and Dream Reading.
Very nice.
Yeah, so my character is very, mystical, kind of. His other senses are gone, so now he can sense Key a lot better.
Makes sense, right? Yeah.
Yeah, and can, interpret dreams and all that sort of thing better.
I was hoping somebody would take a 99 Styles, because I couldn't.
I'm excited for that, so be interesting. The other stuff is really good in there too. So eventually he'll become, he'll be able to walk in dreams, pretty much, or whatever. Like, a lot of good stuff in there. So.
Oh yeah, Portents is really awesome. So there's that. So then, yeah, so we spent our 2 levels, and that's what we got there. Okay, so then the last step is Sky, and that's where we choose our jutsu. So let's bring up the jutsu. There's so many documents. It'll be great when all of this stuff can be in one place, like a book or something.
If only a book was coming out with all this stuff put together. If only. At some point, like maybe in April or something, somewhere around
Sometime around April is when the book will be out.
Sometime around there.
Yeah. So
somewhere in there, that would be really great.
Yeah, somewhere.
That would be really great.
All right. So then, if we're looking at that, so the thing is you get 6 points to spend between your stuff. 10 points. I'm sorry, 6 points to spend. Basic jutsu costs 1 point. Advanced jutsu costs 2. And master jutsu costs 3, or not master, advanced. That's a typo that must be fixed on the character sheet, because it should say advanced, not master. So there's that. At least one jutsu, whether it's even if you just spend 1 point on a piddly little one, has to come from your clan-specific jutsu. So. Let's see what I'm going to pick here for... I get the Way of Carrying Hands as my clan jutsu. Ooh, you know what? I'm going to take... That's a yin. And what is Pure Touch? Is yin as well. All right, so I'm going to take a Pure Touch, which I really like. And what Pure Touch allows me to do is I can eliminate the poison condition on somebody, which is really nice, and I can also use that to support checks if somebody is making poisons and stuff like that. So that's good. On a boost, I can purge jutsu poisons as well, which is fun. So that's a basic. My dice pool is yin plus holistics, and the effects is clear poison condition. Now, I took that because the actual thing that I want is the confusion touch, and that was a prerequisite for it. And what the confusion touch does, which is really fun, it disrupts the flow of energy in your body, and it scrambles up the target's muscle memory. So if they try to speak, their legs might twitch, and turning their head makes their arms punch out. So it affects them, and it makes it hard for them to kind of figure out how their body moves. So that's a fun one. That's a moderate jutsu. So I've spent 3 points now.
And remind me, because is there a limitation on which jutsu we can pick?
Only if it says requires, like if there's a prerequisite. Otherwise, no. Like, you have 6 points. You could start off with 2 advanced jutsu if you want.
From which, jutsu, clearly I can only pick from my own clan.
Well, the clan-specific ones, but then there's general ones.
There's general ones, and I can pick any of the general ones. Can I pick any of the elemental ones, or do I have to only pick...
Those are general.
No. The only limitation is that at least 1 jutsu has to come from your clan jutsu.
Okay.
Yeah.
Excellent.
Otherwise, the rest of it is open season.
Yeah.
So, and so the biggest thing with the confusion touch, my power that I got, is basically it, for the duration, which is successes that I get, the target only gains dice from their lowest skill in any combo, which is really terrible.
That's awful. Who wrote that? I didn't write that.
That's mine.
No, that's a Daryl thing.
I was like, whoa, that's awesome.
Way to go, Daryl.
Yes, that's a really good one. So.
All right.
So who wants to talk about some of the stuff that they're thinking, that they're picking?
I'll go ahead and go because I'm just writing mine down now. I've picked them. I'm pulling 2 from Immaculate Show. A level 1, one's Trick Shots, which is kind of like bullet bending, only for throwing stuff. So you can curve stuff, go around, cover, things like that. So I'm seeing this guy's fighting style is going to be all around like juggling and throwing stuff.
Okay.
And then to kind of keep going with that theme, my moderate's juggling hands, which it's another Yang ability. However many successes I get, I can throw that many weapons and start juggling them, and plus double that in just like random other objects. And as long as he keeps juggling, he can pluck those and use them one at a time until they're used up. And each time he does that, he's getting a +2 bonus to use whatever the thing was until all of them have been used. So I think there are some potentially creative uses to put that one to. And then from way of movement, I'm going to jump on surface running because that's always just awesome sauce, being able to run across water or walls or whatever. And then lightning fists because I dig the speed. And that one just lets him burn to do 3 attacks. So.
Lightning speed. That's a good one. So like lightning speed is probably one of my favorites.
They're all good. Lightning fists.
I'm not good at that. Oh my goodness. Definitely gonna need to change how I spent some of my skills. Now I'm looking at these again.
Yep, that's why I said that earlier.
I got lucky. I played it like it landed and it worked out.
That's good.
All right, and then for the rest of my points, I bought a basic jutsu for surface running, so now I can attach to surfaces and ceilings and walls and whatnot. And I took strength boost, which actually doubles my strength and allows me to do extra damage while I'm fighting.
Awesome.
Oh, good.
There are a lot of choices, so
Yeah.
I can understand why it would, you kind of have to have a good concept going of what you want.
Mm.
I did not go with any advanced jutsu though, because I don't want to have to spend turns molding ki to get to them.
Goodness gracious, I know, right? I'm already I only have 1 yang. Anything with yang. I'm like, nah.
I picked some stuff with yang, like strength boost is a yang. So I will have to mold ki to use that one, but the rest of them I'll be able to just use, which is important. So that's good. I can use them on the fly.
Yeah, I almost totally took one of the Immaculate Show ones as the one where you just kind of look, Ma, no hands, and kind of grab objects without people seeing. But since it uses yen and I have 0 yen, it's I think that would kind of... Okay, this is going to be a really cool trick, everybody, and really subtle. Wait just 1 second. Let me power up first.
Let me power up. Let me do a Dragon Ball Z.
Okay, I totally got that key from that guy without him noticing. Everyone's like, what? Are you thinking?
Hey, Daryl, did you want a weapon? Are you going to have a weapon?
I was considering being a fisticuffs kind of character.
Okay.
But I don't know. I might grab a weapon just to have one.
It's always good to have a couple kunai or something,
Yeah, let's throw a weapon. Like a kunai or something small and easily hidden.
Kunai have ranged and sharp as their qualities.
I don't have to throw them, right?
No, kunai. Well, kunai are they're throwing.
They're
knives.
throwing knives, right?
I've actually seen, like, in a lot of anime, I see them, like, not thrown.
Right.
So
Like,
what I would...
well, I mean, like, I've got one in my hand, I would throw it, but you get, like, really close, and I'm like, in your neck, like, it's still a sharp object, you know?
True. Exactly. Yeah. So, I mean, probably what I would do is I would maybe give you a -1 if you were going to use it up at close.
Yeah. I'll
Like
do
that.
that. I'll do that. That way I have a range thing, and then if things get in close, I'm just going to...
Yeah. That'll
We'll
work
just
out.
go with some fighting. Just punch him in the face. Maybe I'll take some Way of Earth to make my fists kind of awesome.
Oh, are you taking, like, the stone fists?
I was thinking about it, if I'm going to go that route, right?
Yeah. Yeah, there's a lot of really good ones in Under Earth. Actually,
Gosh,
really
I
dug
know.
Earth.
I did too. That was funny. Let's see. I'm going to probably grab a bunch of basic jutsu right now, just because there's so
Yeah.
many different things I want. Does warrior get me thrown? Let's see.
So also, what each of the different jutsu, the ways have is that they actually have an element, which is important. So wood
Oh,
is the
yeah.
element for that. The training is so if I look at the way of carrying hands, my training says that on a boost while I'm activating a carrying hands jutsu, I can lower a condition rating by 1 from myself or a target within near range, which is actually really, really awesome. But my backfire is I can, if I fail a roll, then I actually cause a condition to increase by 1 for myself or somebody else.
Nice.
So I can make things worse if I roll badly.
Yeah, for Immaculate Show on my boost, it starts creating illusions that draw crowds, which is going to go great with my trigger of drawing too much attention. I'm going to
There
get
you
a
go.
lot of karma. And on the background, and on the backfire, people get all upset and leave, which is going to go great with my get embarrassed by a show going bad.
Yep.
And I lose initiative. And then movement's all boost gives me +2 move, +1 initiative. Backfire does the opposite. So that should be pretty slick.
It's not bad. And then I took some jutsu from the way of movement, and that ups my movement and my initiative if I boost on that, but it lowers my initiative and movement if I fail. So that's an easy one. And then I also took from the way of the warrior, which on a boost I can gain a +2 damage by spending a dynamic action. All right, so see, that's an important one for you to think about, Danielle.
I looked at it. Yeah, no, there was another one in Way of Warrior that I kind of really liked. Where is it? I have to scroll back and find it. And that might be what you were saying. Say which one again? Did you say?
I was saying the training for Way of the Warrior. So the training for Way of the Warrior means if you boost, then spending a dynamic action for extra damage gives a +2 damage instead of +1.
And then I can
that's
spend
nice.
two.
But
I
see,
can
you
spend 2 dynamic actions. Oh
Exactly.
my!
So
I
the
can just-
combination there is actually really awesome if you know Eagle Style, the specific thing that you took.
Oh my! I mean, I was already thinking about taking Sturdy Fist off of Way of the Warrior.
That's a good one.
Just instead of Stone Fist.
Gotcha.
So I think I'm going to do that. And that's going to be...
right. So I'm done.
Awesome.
Are you finding that you guys are selecting from more than 3 different ways?
Yes.
Okay.
No.
'Cause I
I
actually
wanted
went
to go
with 3
deeper into
different
the two I
ways.
picked. Yeah.
I went carrying hands, movement, and warrior, and like that was what I did.
I'm finding myself wanting to take from like about 4 different ones.
Okay. I think I guess the question would be, would it help you focus more on your choices if you were limited to, say, 3 different ways?
Yeah, probably.
Okay. Because I have 3 different ways on the character sheet.
Right.
So technically, I could use that as kind of, I mean, an artificial kind of like, hey, you can only take from up to 3 different ways. At start, I mean, you could always do more later.
Yeah.
I'll have to write that into the rules there.
I think I want that as well. I think in some cases, some of your general jutsu originally in first edition, every clan kind of got 2 that they were like good with, and so some of those jutsu like really lend themselves well to certain other clans, even though they're general now. Anybody can get them, and anybody could have gotten them before, but they're not like, they're not spelled out. Hey, this one was good for you, but when you're looking at it, you're like, wow, that's
Pretty much. Yeah.
that's really good. Like I should probably take this.
Yeah, and some of them overlap a little bit because it was more limited back in the day. In first edition, it was more limited. So like you couldn't pick from that one, so you had to pick this version of that thing. But I think that they overlap now in a much more organic way, so you can do the same thing, but it's in a different way that you do it, which I think is good.
Yeah, I don't think there's any reason to take more than one elemental jutsu, in my opinion. And clearly you can only take one clan jutsu, and then the other general, they have a lot of, they're just good.
Yeah.
So they have a lot of good things in them, so you're kind of like, oh.
Yeah. I actually didn't take any elementals. I thought I was going to want some elemental stuff, but I really ended up not.
I'm kind of, well, I thought I was, and then
Wanting
I
any.
went with warrior, so.
I think I picked what I want. I'm pretty excited about that. So.
What'd you end up with, Danny? What'd you end up with?
I obviously did Kept Lord because that was Living Chronicle, but I picked 2 from that, which were the Long View. Actually, I picked 3 from that. The Long View, which is a basic one, and it basically allows me to like use my knowledge of battles and stuff like that to give me bonuses. And then I took Rewriting History, which is a moderate one, but it allows me, so that was 2, but it allows me to check, roll failed die, like do a check and roll the failed die a second time. Let me see what
Nice.
So the first one I got was, the Long View. It's their knowledge of historical battles give them an edge in battle. The ninja adds either yin or knowledge, whichever is greater, to initiative. That's it. Nice. To initiative.
Nice.
The bonus reduces by 1 for each round. On a boost, their initiative is increased by another 2. And then I took Rewriting History, which
is
was
the re-rolling the failed dice one.
Yeah. There are times when something must be done exactly right the first time. This allows the ninja to make a check and then roll any failed dice a second time to hopefully ensure greatness. They may spend a yin to use this jutsu reflexively.
Very cool.
Yeah, and then I took Preserve the Words, which is yin plus knowledge. The ninja can take some piece of information, whether overheard in a book, scroll, or otherwise observed, and records it on their skin as a new tattoo. They receive +3 knowledge regarding the new info, which reduces by 1 per hour that passes. And then the other way I took was the Way of Beasts.
Okay.
And I took Sonic Hearing. Actually.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm pretty excited about that one. Where is it now? We have the warrior, we have beast. Where is it? Oh yeah, sonic hearing. Many animals have expert hearing, and now the ninja uses this jutsu to enhance their hearing to hear perfectly up to a yin times 100 feet. They also can have +1 perception for hearing checks while active. On a boost, this distance is extended up to half a mile. One half
Nice.
mile.
Very nice.
Yeah. And I think that's 1, 2, 3, 4. That's 5. So I have one more that I can do.
Yep, you have one more point. Yeah. Yeah, I knew this was going to be the tricky part. I was figuring out what powers were going to be.
But I think I'm going to take Favor under Way of Beast, that the ninja learns how to speak to animals.
Okay.
As if they are people. Each species having their own personalities and quirks. When using this jutsu, the character can give the animal an order, with a number of steps equal to successes gained. The effects last until the animal has finished the task. Cool. Well, it figures. He was a recluse. He was out in the woods a lot.
Oh, true.
What else was he going to do?
Yeah.
Like...
Learn how to talk to some animals. Why not?
Why not? Not to some animals.
Very cool. So did we all pick our stuff?
I think I'm done, so I'm going to tell you what I've taken and what they do for the benefit of the crowd. I don't know if we still have a crowd or not.
We have a few people still watching, yeah.
5 people still watching. Okay, so I have taken my clan jutsu, Way of the Ebony Clutches, and I've taken 2 basics from that. The first is puppetry. So it's a basic power that just lets you take some shadows and create a show with them. And so I can get a +2 bonus if I'm trying to impress an audience. Otherwise, I can use it to distract somebody and give them a -1 on initiative checks. It's a little fiddly, but it is a prerequisite for a lot of other jutsu further into this path. So I wanted to take it. And it's a little versatile as far as, like, my character's not great at dealing with a crowd, and so this will be like my, oh, look, a shadow. I also took Shadow Cloak, which is that I give myself a +2 bonus to stealth. It makes it impossible for anyone to correctly identify me, and then with a boost, I can affect other people, so I can get, my buddies in with me. And so those are the 2 that I picked from that. Both of them are level 1, and so the training on Way of Ebony Clutches is just on a boost. I can get a +2 bonus on my next stealth check. So pretty much, if I'm casting something like Shadow Cloak and I get a +2 bonus on my stealth there, and then I get a boost on it, then I can, essentially get like a +4 bonus. So it's kind of nice. So I can be really, especially with the way that my clan bonus works, I can then use that to intimidate people, because I'm going to hopefully get a lot more successes with all those bonuses.
True.
Right. It's like it works out together.
Yeah. Well, I was going to say, because your clan gift gives you the +1, and you get the +2 for the jutsu, so you're already with a +3. And then if you boost, then it's now you're rolling with a +5.
Right. So hopefully I'll get more successes. Just because I have +5 doesn't mean anything in my world, but the penalty, so the backfire is that I get a cumulative penalty on checks involving stealth, including any of the jutsu. Several of the jutsu require stealth, like Cloak of Shadows is a stealth roll on its own. So that's not good. I don't want to fail if I'm trying to do sneaky things. Then we talked about picking up the Way of the Warrior. And I went ahead and picked up Sturdy Fist from that, which gives me a +2 on on my fighting checks. And I need to relook at it. Does it last, or is it just
Which one?
the Sturdy Fist? I immediately roll a fighting attack with a +2 bonus.
Yeah, that's a
It's a one shot.
boom. That's
Yes, so one
shot.
shot I do. Okay.
Yeah, Sturdy Fist is a one shot, so you would have to activate Sturdy Fist with every attack.
Right. Which could get costly really quickly.
Right.
Huh.
But I mean, it kind of can. You're not actually. It doesn't cost you. It doesn't cost you any key to use it. You just have to make sure that you have a bare minimum of jutsu that you have of a key that you have.
Right. If I'm not spending key to do anything, then that wouldn't be so bad. But it's also, if I fail, then I,
Exactly.
I have a chance of backfiring. I need to make sure that I'm not, risking myself too much. But if things are going well enough and I get a boost on it, I may not only have to make one attack.
There you go.
Incapacitating the crap out of somebody. So yeah, I went ahead and took that. That may or may not be, a wonderful thing later. We don't know. I'll figure it out. Okay, and then now I have, I took Way of Unseen, which is what I was talking about. In first edition, Way of Unseen was a Grasping Shadows, suggested.
Mm-hmm.
Pick this up. So, and it's pretty good. So I have, let's see, let me read out what they do. So my little notes are just not. So I have two. I have a basic, which is Blank Face, which is so I'm already calm. So I remove any traces of emotion or feeling. And anybody who's trying to get an advantage against me cannot. So if they're trying to make a social attack, they get a -2 penalty.
Nice.
Yeah. And then the other one I took is actually a moderate jutsu, which is Reflection Defense. So it's kind of a defensive thing. So it makes a mirror image of myself that makes me look blurry. It gives me a +2 bonus to dodge or to find cover. Or I could use it to deflect an attack. And then that gives me a +3 bonus to my defense in that.
Yeah. Awesome. So I think that we have a pretty diverse group here, actually.
We do, and I'm actually kind of impressed that it's only been an hour or so. Right?
No, it's been about 2 hours.
2 hours,
which is what I was thinking.
Yeah. Considering there were all four of us and we were chit-chatting and everything.
Well, yeah, we were talking a lot about why we were picking things and stuff like that.
Right.
So then
yeah, still good.
Yeah. So the last things that we need to do is just add up all the rest of our stuff. So we have so if you go down to the other section of your sheet, you have rank is 1.
Mm-hmm.
So there's that. Your initiative is intuition plus speed plus 3.
I get 8. I get a good one.
I have an 8 as well.
Awesome.
I'm a 5 because intuition's for sucks.
I'm currently at a 6, but it may go up. I don't know. We'll see.
And that's where those points that you get to spend come in handy. Because actually, I had no speed from any of my choices, so I gave myself a couple of points of speed.
Yeah, I didn't have any intuition. I did give myself a point of intuition, but I'm going to need to move things around because I realized that things like perform are important.
Exactly, for puppetry and your stuff, definitely. For Blank Face, too.
Yeah.
So there's that. Okay, so dynamic actions, everybody has 1. Dynamic dice, everybody has 3. All right, so then your strength is athletics plus might plus 2.
So 5 for me.
Mine is a 6.
Mine is a 6 as well.
Of course, I took the strength boost jutsu, which allows me to turn that to a 12 or to an 18 on a boost. So,
Nice.
So
Goodness.
that's really nice. Yes. And then your movement is athletics plus speed plus 5.
9.
So I'm rolling with a 9 as well.
I have a 9 as well.
Yeah, I also have a 9.
And then your health is your fortitude plus 5. And your psyche is your discipline plus 5.
8 health. Psyche 5 because disciplines for sucks.
I have a pretty high psyche, actually.
I have
Maybe
6 in
ruined by
both.
that.
That's me.
I have 7 in both.
Yeah, and I have 6 in both, so. And then, yeah, our characters are done. Like, it's done. Yay!
Yay!
So that,
remind me, movement with athletics and speed, right?
it was athletics, speed, plus 5.
Okay. Yeah, I need to fiddle because
I got the sheet filled out. I'll go ahead and scan that and send it to you if you want to put it anywhere.
Yeah, you know what? That'll be cool. I can make a Dropbox, and then I'll put the sheets that we actually created into the notes of this when it posts to YouTube.
Yeah, I actually have a pretty decent amount of room on mine here. I'll show you. I can show everybody, if anybody is still watching, like how I wrote my
We
stuff.
still have
in
a few people. Looks like
we got a question for recap.
Yeah. All right. Cool. Yeah, we can. Yeah, we have a recap. Oh, you guys can see the Q&A too. Okay. Cool. Yeah. So let's give a recap of our characters, and we can kind of just give a overall kind of view of who our characters are, what they can do, what their personality is like. Who wants to go first?
I can go first.
Okay.
So I'm playing Ataki Suzuki. She is a I'm going to start with this. She's a grasping shadows. In her past, she has had a bit of trouble. She's a dark past of being a sellsword and owing people because of it. And when the war started, she became a scout and started observing things, saw even more horrifying things than she did when she was a sellsword. She's pretty much just a troubled individual. She is a fighter. She does not necessarily so much assassin as just kind of warrior. Let's see. She's calm, though. She's seen a lot, and it makes her a little unflappable, but it also makes some people a little concerned that, maybe she's not as concerned about things as she should be. And yeah, the rest is just, fighting styles and stuff like that. I don't know if we care about those things for the recap.
Well, I guess it depends on, do those things factor into your concept?
Well, sure. Okay. I mean, she prefers to hide in the shadows, strike from the shadows. She likes to use her bare hands to do horrifying things to people.
Very nice. I like it. Very cool. Daryl, you want to go next? You
Sure.
The great Sakana.
The great Sakana, the great fish, yes. For my description, I put down he's an arrogant acrobat, a conniving con man, and a naughty ninja. He's all about. He's pretty much born to the fire element and embraces that. He's a wiry, kind of quick performer through and through. Very deceptive. He likes to get into the crowd, sway them, make trouble for himself and everyone around him, of course. In terms of magic, he's got his jutsu's built around the performance stuff. A lot of juggling and acrobatics, which is his routine. A lot of the speed-based stuff, like the surface running and the lightning fists. His favorite weapon, he likes kunai. He's going to carry pretty much as many as he can get, as he can start juggling them and throwing them in crazy different directions. That can be part of his act, or not. And yeah,
he's got trick shots too.
He's got trick shots, and there's a lot of people looking for him because he's conned one too many peasant. They know his name. They're looking for the great Sakana.
Very cool. I mean, yeah, of course we know your name. You're the great Sakana. I mean, that's just how that works. Because you're not just Sakana from down the street. You're the great one.
That's right. Except no substitutes.
Yes.
I am playing Osamu Fukui. I think, is that how you pronounce it? I'm terrible.
Yeah,
The
Fukui.
name. Okay, good.
Yeah.
He's blind, but he has not been blind from birth. He's not that old. Probably, late 20s, early 30s or so. He's not been blind from birth. There was actually a terrible accident, a fire, when he was a younger child. Not incredibly young, maybe like 10 or so. And he lost his sight in that fire. And he ended up sort of becoming more interested in kind of keeping to himself. And so he studied to become a monk. And then when the war happened, he sort of kind of went more into himself and became a recluse. And he, through that, he sort of learned the ways of the animals, which is why he has the jutsu that he has, and also learned that he wanted to help chronicle things. Even though he wasn't a part of them, he felt like that's something that he could contribute to society. And so he also, let me see what else is interesting about him. Oh, yeah, so as a recluse and someone, he spent a lot of time with the animals, but he was also able to, through his impaired sense and not being able to see, was able to start being able to sense ki a lot more. So not only his hearing, sense of smell, and all that stuff got more sensitive, but his sense of ki and dreams and things like that, he became more sensitive to kind of more different energy levels as well. So that's why he has those skills as well. So he's a very reticent, very kind of closed-off person, considers himself more of an observer of society rather than a part of it, and that's kind of why he's a living chronicle,
Awesome. I like it. And then my character, Sakurai Kasumi, she has... Yeah, you know what? She was completely random, but I really like the way she came out. So basically, as a bamboo herbalist, she's learned how to brew potions and kind of do that sort of thing. And she also has gotten a longer life, so she doesn't really think about her actions. So she takes dares and takes chances a whole lot more, which actually fits well into her.
Oh, did we just lose Eli?
Uh-oh.
Probably have to give him a second to reconnect.
Yeah.
Cool. I have no idea how the heck my character ended up with y'all's.
I know.
I do not even know how that happened. I don't know if my character even knows how that happened. I can kind of picture it like y'all stumble like somehow onto his poor, hut or whatever he has out there in the woods and just sort of like come into his life like a tornado or something. And he just doesn't know what happened, but now all of a sudden he's doing all these things and he doesn't know why.
The war throws people together in very odd ways.
Yeah.
Don't worry, you look back.
You get me again? I'm here
Yeah,
now.
Yeah.
Good.
I don't know what happened. I don't even know what happened. So it's really cool because my character ends up really taking a chance for many different kinds of reasons. So she'll take a chance if somebody dares her. She'll take a chance if there's money involved. She'll take a chance if she can add to her collection of antique blades. She can take a chance if there is glory and a story to tell about on the battlefield. So there's like a lot of things that she'll just basically just do whatever. But a lot of people don't like her for that. She also handles dead bodies and she steals from them and sells their stuff, which is fun. It's fun, but yeah.
You know.
With her antique blades, she actually has a pair of antique kama that she actually wields, and that's why I ended up with 2 sharp weapon styles. So I think that that's going to fit in too. So she's always looking to kind of upgrade her weapon status. And yeah, and she's got because she's a champion on the battlefield, she always has to try and display her strength. So that's why I ended up with surface running, so nothing would stop her. I also ended up with strength boost to allow her to, push her way through soldiers and whatnot. So I think that's going to be a lot of fun. So she can, and she's also really, really resistant to poisons and stuff. But I took pure touch, which means if anybody else gets poisoned, I can you're not poisoned anymore. You're fine.
Mhm.
So that's really cool. And then I took confusion touch because I just like that one a lot.
It was funny. I was just telling him I have no idea how my character ended up with y'all's. Because I was just telling them that while you were gone, and I was like, I can picture my character like he's up in his hut in the woods or whatever, being all recluse and whatever he's doing, and then all of a sudden your 3 characters just barrel into his hut somehow, and just doesn't even know how he ended up here.
Or that scene from Moulin Rouge, like a dwarf falls through the floor.
Yeah, I know.
It's narcoleptic, and what?
What's going on? I have no idea.
Well, that's also one of the cool things about the Denketsu. So, I mean, starting in Denketsu is probably one of the easiest things ever because all the clans are represented there. So you could just say, hey, you guys are all assembled under this guy, and he's going to tell you now what to go do. So that's a pretty easy way. It's probably how we'll start because that's the easiest way to start unless we wanted to really, go about it. I mean, that's honestly, I would say that's probably how we met each other. But I mean, now we already have our bonds. We have things going on in our group.
Mm-hmm.
So, there's now we're friends because it's great. Yay! But yeah, so I would say thank you everybody for coming and watching the character creation. I will be posting dates and stuff. I guess we'll have to talk about when we're gonna get back together and actually play the game. But that's how you make characters, though. So. Really, really awesome stuff.
I'm super excited about playing.
I am excited for my character because they are nothing like me.
Yeah.
Whatsoever. Whatsoever. I'm just okay, what wouldn't I do here? Okay, that's what my character's going to do.
My character's kind of, I don't know, a little bit like me. A little bit. Except that she's a ninja.
You steal from the dead, Eloy? Is that what you're just telling us? I mean, do we need to...
So I don't steal from the dead in my real life, but I do steal from unconscious people.
Do you really?
So it's kind
Wow.
of the same, right? No, I'm just kidding.
I was going to be wait, how did this thing get funded again? Wait a minute.
Made them
I thought it got bumped up suspiciously high quickly there at the end.
Just sapping people, pulling out their credit cards, plugging in.
Yeah, somebody wakes up 2 weeks later, what did I when did a Kickstarter? What is this?
But thank you everybody for coming and watching us, and I will be posting the updates for when we're going to come back and play. But thank you for coming, and that's how you make a character. Bye, everybody.
Bye.
Bye.